Still got okay.
You're looking good, girl. You're looking good, goddamn.
We started?
We are alive now.
Why do you always mute it then? Why can't you? Anyway, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Comedy Cellar Nightly. We're here with comedian Neko, Derek Gaines, Jackie Fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Look at that. Very nice. And my friend, my old friend Sherrod Small.
Yes, sir.
We're still friends, right?
Always. No, we family. What are you talking about? Anything happen to you, I got to raise those kids.
That's right.
Oh, God. I mean, you're good.
They got to know they got black in them now, Noam. You can't keep that away from them.
They do. They have like 6%.
Don't say no 6%. I'm going to put a percentage on it.
Good.
Well, I mean, it's
don't say good.
23andMe.
That's the start.
23andMe says 6% or something like that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. that's way. My kids have way more black in them than Elizabeth Warren ever claimed she had Native American.
Oh, come on. Why are you going to throw Pocahontas under the...
Pocahontas.
When this is over, I'm going to have some black in me. What?
Hello.
There you go.
Hello.
Put it in the universe.
Good for you, Jack.
So
you got no bottoms on.
I'm going to let you
don't.
guys,
I'm not wearing any pants.
I told you. I know Jackie. She got no bottoms on. I can tell by her energy.
Just panties and a
Bottom
top.
energy.
Is that true, Jackie?
No bottom
Look,
energy.
look.
I'm telling you, I know I'm right.
No
Jackie,
underwear.
I told you. Yeah.
No
That's
pants.
what's up. That's my bitch.
Great.
It's hot. It's warm.
Yeah, you gotta let it breathe. Goddamn it, you gotta let it breathe.
So last time we were on, and I have to be honest, I haven't been following the legal stuff, so I'll let you guys really carry the ball. But so I say that we questioned whether or not the Keith Ellison, the Minnesota Attorney General, was going to indict. He didn't indict them, charge these guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought that he would, and he did. So
Yes,
He did.
I was surprised that he did. I'll be honest.
Convictions.
I'll be honest, Noam. I usually don't trust red bones. Definitely when they in charge of the law.
What's that mean? What's that mean?
He's a light. He likes.
Oh, you don't know what red bone means.
He a red bone.
You don't need to know. No, that is not an important term. No.
It's not all that important. You're right.
He high yellow.
Just
So I
high
don't know
yellow
which way he
people.
gonna go.
Light skins. They're fickle with their decisions.
Looking like Starks from the Knicks.
You do have to, when somebody's mixed with black and white, you have to get to know them to know where their head is at.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
Right,
all that is.
because
What side they're accessing? Are
You
they
don't
accessing
know whether they live in the white world or the black
or the
world.
black world?
I don't.
Or
And
they
their
can
ideologies could be
maneuver
very swayed depending.
He's mixed.
I don't know if he is, but I just said he's red bone. So he looked like he's light.
Usually when they're that light, there's something else going on back
He
there.
got green eyes. I don't trust him.
Yeah, that's always a plight.
Wow, you guys.
Yo, do y'all think we're gonna get a conviction though? Because
Conviction?
they brought up
Yeah.
charges on cops before. It's like
Yeah.
if they don't convict this time, definitely the cop that had his knee on his neck, he's
Yeah.
definitely going to jail. But
If they don't convict them, they're gonna set the earth on fire. If they don't convict them, whatever just happens is gonna be a baby shower compared to
Yeah. It's a big event. Yeah.
everything burning down.
No, make a
That's
prediction.
that's just the previews. That is
Yeah.
preview stuff.
What do you
The
predict,
cellar will
though?
become the actual cellar.
Yeah.
I read a little bit. I read a little bit of analysis by a prosecutor who felt that they undercharged the aiding and abetting people because it was interesting. He said that I think he's what's his name? Chauvin, is that the main guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's charged with second-degree murder, which is like not intent to kill, but it's an intentional crime, not a negligent homicide. And and you can aid and abet an intentional crime, but if he's convicted of the lesser charge, which is negligence, you can't really aid and abet negligence. He said so when he was saying they should have charged.
So that's the loophole.
He said they should have charged him with at least negligent homicide, and he also thinks the fourth guy is probably not gonna get convicted of anything.
Who the guy down by the shoes? Who's holding the shoes down?
No,
the motherfucker standing up.
The dude that was like, nah, you can't help
I don't
him.
I don't think the other guys are going to. They're not going to get anything beyond aiding and abetting. The main guy, I believe he will get second-degree murder because everything is clear for second-degree murder.
Very clear. It's very clear.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
will we
it
get a
kind of
conviction?
depends on him more than anybody else. If he
The other
doesn't go
guys
to
might
jail,
get
shit is going to
time.
get destroyed.
The other guys might get time, but they're not going to get real time, not long time.
Right. So you think the first guy, the main guy, is going to get real time? And
yeah, the main guy will get minimum 25 years. There's no way he'll get less than that.
Oh, I love the sound of that. I mean, they gave that other cop who shot that white Australian woman in Minnesota 12 years.
Yeah, but it didn't get as big as this.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah, that didn't turn the whole world upside down, though.
But
not at all.
It shocked me because it shocked me because even cops in those situations never went to jail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now, I mean, there's a white boy that they tased to brain death. The cops didn't go to jail.
I think if he was a white cop in Minnesota and went down the same way, I think he would have walked.
Yeah.
I think that video is so horrific.
Yeah.
That's
George Floyd
persuasive to the jury. I mean, and you know, like I said, it doesn't make sense. It should bother you more to see somebody intentionally shot in the back than torture like that and then drop dead over in some weird way. But it doesn't. That torture is somehow more difficult to look at.
But just to be devil's advocate, we seen Rodney King tape. And we see it was a beating. So if Rodney King would have died, you think they would have it would have been the same thing?
Yeah, but even Rodney King was different.
And that was before
fighting away at first, you know, and then they beat the shit out of him. And Rodney King was, I mean, you remember that whole thing? He punched the cops a few times. They had him down. Then he got up and punched him again. Then they tased him. That was to me. I understood Rodney King as like man on man. Like this was just fucking torture. The guy was helpless and handcuffed.
And that's why. And that's why this one hurts so much, because even with like Alton Sterling, which again, that one was super horrific, and Tamir Rice to me might be the most horrific. But with this, when they did the moment of silence for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, it makes you realize that's a long fucking time.
Look how many times have we done? How many times I've done 8-minute sets, and I do. You know how long that is in front of a big ass crowd when you just. That's a long fucking set.
That's a long
9 minutes.
How to explain it to a girl you're having sex with, though?
I want to put it to you this way. If my son Nicholas, Sherrod knows, if my son Nicholas were a cop and he was arresting somebody, and whoever he was arresting got off a few good shots in his face with punching or whatever it is, I would worry that Nicholas would start throwing down. I would say, you can't, you got to keep, I know he punched you. I know you're angry. I know that was like the Rodney King thing. You know, I would worry about that.
Right.
I can't imagine him getting a helpless guy handcuffing. He never did anything to him, and just holding him down while he's screaming for his mother.
They passed a law.
The universe to Rodney King to me.
You heard 100%. You heard about the Eric Garner law, the no chokehold. There's a new law I read today.
The chokehold that they killed him with though was illegal. So how can we trust it?
They say they don't train for that. They don't train for the knee on the neck.
That's so even I didn't know that. I mean, I assumed it was extreme force. I didn't know that it was illegal force.
Yeah, they didn't say they don't train with the knee on the back. That's on the knee on the neck. That's not.
Oh, so he improv that.
Yeah,
that was his special move.
He just
jazzed it up. He jazzed it up.
Gotcha.
Watching them MMA fights, getting all confident, bitch, nigga.
Yeah, he got Coltrane and just went where he was going.
Look, back in the old days when we had that club Rumor, remember where the underground was? We had Rumor for a while.
Yeah.
Like a bottle service, and these outside promoters brought in their own security guys, and some of them were ex-cops, and they were like barbarians. And I remember,
I remember that too.
There was
how long have you guys been in stand-up? Jesus Christ!
So somebody
archival shit.
Somebody white was like arguing about something, and this security guy grabs this guy and says to him, "You're going to sleep," and he some kind of fucking chokehold, and the guy just collapsed. Like, they know how to do this. It was like Mr. Spock shit, like that, you know.
That's scary, man.
And, I mean, I threw this guy the fuck out, and I threw them all out.
Yeah.
But it made it clear to me, like, this is something they were doing, like, you know.
Yeah. That's why you took control of all the security guys and made the team. You made a whole team, your own team after that. Like you like Big Steve and all them. That's when Sean, you always kept the same security after that because you trained them yourself.
That's right.
Whenever
you put the body cams on them too.
Can I add to that, by the way? A lot of my feelings about the cops are informed by my experience with the security guys. I've seen them lose their cool. I've seen how they can, even Steve can be happy to have to be held back sometimes, very rarely,
Right.
I see what gets him angry, but I also understand, and I really believe in it. I've always taught them this. I don't mean to be condescending, but I did always try to de-escalate.
Yeah.
And that was the thing with Eric Garner. Like I remember with one of the guys, I don't want to say his name. He was freaking out because somebody was smoking a cigarette after the smoking law was passed, Yeah. And he was ready, and they're getting physical with the guy smoking a cigarette, throwing him out of the bar. And I said, "What are you doing? Just let it go. He's gonna smoke a cigarette. It's whatever it is. The cops come, tell him he wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
You don't put your hands on anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Whenever I've had a show that was 4 cops, and this happened more when I lived in California, we would do benefits.
Yeah.
Always a room full of assholes.
Oh yeah.
Always a room full of dicks, hecklers. They didn't want to see a woman, better less a black chick on the stage.
Well,
every show.
Maybe they were just particular about the comedy. They were just particular.
No, I'm not really big on that either.
What you start off with?
I have rarely met a cop that wasn't a dick.
No, I can't say it. We know nice.
I know a lot. Well,
I know
a
nice
lot,
ones, but I've met some assholes though.
Well, I can say the same thing about comedians.
They help Steve.
Right.
Yeah,
comedians aren't really threatening though.
The cops really do help Steve and those guys when they need
when they need it. Yeah. When they on your side definitely down there, it's like, okay, good. Come get this drunk dude or this asshole trying to throw bottles.
They're more on your side though if they know where you're coming from. Like I remember,
it's a business. It's all business too.
I remember
you're part of the establishment when you're calling from a club.
Yeah. When I did the Comedy Magic Club in Hermosa Beach, California, and they had a DUI checkpoint. And he pulled me over, opened the window. I opened the window. He stuck his head all the way in.
We wearing pants.
Until I told him. He was an asshole until I told him where I was coming from. You shouldn't have to do all of that to get them to not be a dick.
But that's the thing about it, because they don't know how to talk to people, man.
No.
I've had too many times when stop and frisk was legal around here. They could be in plain clothes and just search you as you were going up and down in your building. Yeah. So it happened to me a couple of times. One in particular time, dude said, "Hey, get on the fucking wall." I said, "Yo, you in a Champions hoodie and Champions sweats." I thought I was about to get robbed, so we end up tussling. Right, the whole time I didn't know it was an officer until his partner came out the other staircase. If it wasn't for the older people at the bottom of the stairs that were in the building, they would have beat the shit out of me. You know what I mean? So you're right, exactly. So the thing about it is they don't know how to talk to people, and when it comes to black people in particular, especially men, you're not going to talk to me crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That angers us.
They think talking back in any way, shape, or form is talking
it's
crazy.
Disrespect, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I just look them in the eyes and just try to stand my ground. But I remember in college, though, when I went to Morgan State, big shout out to Morgan State, Baltimore, Maryland. When I used to drive around, like we used to see how they treated the black locals compared to how they treated us, because it was different. And that's how, like, they'll pull you over, like they pull me over in the car, and I give them my license, whatever, and then they'll say, who are you? I'll be like, oh, I'll go to Morgan State right here. They never fuck with you after that.
Right.
Because they know that's coming with lawyers from the campus. That's coming with, they don't know who your parents are to afford to send you to college. They already know.
Yeah.
So they back the fuck off. But my boy, B, driving his car, he's from Baltimore, went to school too. Maybe he don't have a school ID on him, and they would give that motherfucker the worst. They would treat him asshole.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys a question?
Shoot.
How do you compare? I was looking at the NYPD stats, and in 2019, I don't think the stats. There was only, actually in New York State, there was only one unarmed black person killed, and it was in Syracuse. And NYPD's also gotten rid of, thank God, stop and frisk. So
thank God.
How would you rate? I mean, you don't know what Minnesota's like, but how do you?
It's horrible there.
Awful.
Yeah, how would you rate NYPD compared to some of these other police departments?
Better in some cases, better on some standard. But it's like some of these other police departments seem like they still locked in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like NYPD, you got to learn quick because there's so many people in New York City, so many different cultures. So, and plus you got the police force, got those cultures in the force. So you're going to get more interaction with different kind of people. Like just naturally. But in these other places, you might not get that as much. You might have one Asian dude on the force or 3 black people in a whole building. So it's a different learning curve.
And you're not allowed to drive. If you drive through an all-white town, they're on high alert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
What are you doing here? You're like, it's a street.
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing here.
America.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you never drove around Noam and somebody asked you, what you doing here? You got no business around here. Have they ever said that to you?
Well, I'll tell you this.
When I was in LA and I had a black car, blacked out windows, I got pulled over at least 2 times a month because I had a black car, and they could see the black skin like in the crack of the window.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know it's 3 a.m., but I'm allowed to be outside. I'm an adult.
I've been I'll be very honest with you. I've been pulled over and put up against the wall.
Damn.
Nice.
For doing nothing.
I said nice.
Who was he?
More time. Well, one time I was in the garage where the guy was roughing me. Another time when a guy had me up against the Cafe wall, said I was peeing on the street. And and I thought and the only way I got out of it is I'm the owner of the Cafe Y here. Somebody said, yeah, that's the owner. So it was implausible that I was peeing on the street. And I imagine well, if he actually arrested me and I told the judge I didn't do it, there's just no way he's going to believe me.
Exactly.
Right.
He said it's my goddamn wall.
And then driving to Juanita's house one time when she lived in where did she live? At Rockaway, Far Rockaway. I got pulled over and I was driving a Volvo and the guy was really weird. He says, yeah, you fit the description. The car fits the description or some weird thing that was total bullshit.
Volvo.
What's that like?
Weird is, I don't mean, you would have trouble believing how often it happened to me. And I can only imagine how much more often it happens to you being black.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Both being black and if you're in other neighborhoods than the neighborhoods that I'm usually in, which, like cops are not even looking for trouble in the village or in,
You know what cops don't like, my opinion, regardless of color? They don't like confidence. They don't like confidence.
At all.
They don't like,
at all.
They don't like assuredness. They don't like, hey, they don't like when you are not afraid.
They're betas. It's a lot of beta fucking energy.
Yeah.
A whole lot of it. Like for me, I would rate the NYPD as, because it's hard to say that they're fine, right? Even though they only killed one unarmed black person last year.
That was Syracuse.
That was
Who am I to judge? So did I.
Right. But it's one of those things where with the NYPD, if you step out of line, ass is grass. You know that. You know when they deal with you, you better act a certain way because they will shoot. They're famous for that.
Yeah.
But whenever I leave New York, there's definitely you're not home anymore.
Yeah.
And you might not make it back. You know what I'm saying? So I prefer the NYPD. They're the devil I know.
Yeah, it's the devil you know. It's like you feel more comfortable in this pond because you know this pond. When you go out somewhere, it's like this. This is, I don't know how to move out here.
You don't even know where you at. And you ever notice how how we get real docile whenever it happens outside New York when you get stopped by the cop?
Oh yeah.
Whatever you need, you're not touching anything, hands on the dashboard. Because your first
thought is, I can't afford to be arrested in this random ass city.
Yeah.
Arizona.
But that's how everybody with New York plates feel that. Definitely if you drive a 95 up or down. We all feel if you got New York plates, white or black, you don't want to get stopped in Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia. Yeah.
Don't get pulled over on a street with no lights, like in Gambia, Ohio, or some shit like that. That's when it gets horror movie. I'll be like, what are they gonna do to me in a ditch?
Got pulled over in Allegheny and didn't think I was gonna make it back.
And being a comic, being a stand-up, we have to experience these situations all around the country.
Time.
So it's like, even if where you live, you don't have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with it anyway. On one of these trips
from the suburbs.
I've rented a car in another state, and I'm at a stoplight, and the cop car behind me, and I'm like, you automatically get tense. You're like, I gotta go up in 20 minutes. If he stops
like, yo, please don't make this take long.
He's like, dude, they allow black people to drive here? I don't know. They gave me a rental car.
Snorted. It was fantastic.
You're the best.
Oh yeah, with all the traveling that we do, one of our thoughts is always like, I wonder what it's like here. I wonder what the climate is like. That's always your question. When you go somewhere, I wonder what it's like here.
How do you figure out what the climate is? I usually go take a walk or try to find the nearest cigar spot to be around people.
I look for black faces and see if they're happy or not.
As a woman, I I'm less worried. I'm less scared of the strange guys at shows than I am of random cops in a strange city, and I'm by myself.
Yeah.
I just don't. But as a woman, we have the black rules and the chick rules, so we're not.
Yeah.
Really shouldn't be going anywhere.
Yeah, fact.
You need a pamphlet to go out. You need a whole pamphlet.
And a name tag.
Point, and you have a vagina. What you don't do.
Did you bring the book of rules? Bitch, did you bring that book of rules?
Did you bring the book of rules?
You don't know your hotel is your home until the last show, bitch.
Bring the book of rules, bitch. What's wrong with you out here?
What are you doing? Your taxes? What are you looking at?
I wanted to read something to you guys. No.
How big is your screen? Jesus Christ.
About cops.
That's a big screen.
I know, right?
Motherfucker looking at it. It's a freaking
it says this. This was in a blog. So I have a friend who works.
He's at an IMAX theater.
I have a friend who
back up. You're gonna go blind. You son of a bitch.
3D.
I have a friend who's he's a very left-wing guy, and he works defending unions. But one of the awkward things is that unions include defending police unions. And he's torn because he's really like a ultra left-wing guy. But he sent me this thing. It says talking about what can make things better. It says making policing less attractive to those who have, quote, visions of jackboots in their eyes. He says he talks about having represented police. He understands that it's true. There are a number of law enforcement who choose it as a career because they're drawn to the idea of being able to wear the gun and exert their will over the population.
Yeah.
Also, there are a number of women, he says, who are sexually supercharged by men in uniform and capable and predisposed to going to that on. I'm not even sure where he's going. He says there's a lot of groupies, but the point is that
it was real.
But
men in uniform.
It's hard for me to see it, and I'm getting it. But the first point is key, that we've talked about it before, that there is just an attraction to this job, which will attract a certain number of the wrong people.
Yeah.
And so the question is, we have to work towards what's possible and not expect the impossible. And at some level, I think getting the cops in general to be polite and good day, sir, and blah blah blah, it's just
no, I'm sorry.
It's never going to happen. It's never.
No, that's not going to happen. Especially
it
now.
already happens. It happens. White people listen to talk to white people.
Vikings.
It's already
Vikings.
You think that's the way they talk to white people?
Some, not in this town, maybe not in New York, but yes,
not in New York.
You go down to like North Carolina, Charlotte, the cops.
True.
Listen, let me explain it with movies if I could. Okay. White people get treated by the cops like the cops in Demolition Man from the future. Remember that?
I remember that.
Cops in Demolition Man.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Like a murder enough to kill. Black people get treated like the character from Denzel Washington played in Training Day. That's how the cops treat us. But the one group of cops that we all can agree that we love is the cast of Police Academy.
Yeah.
So if we can start from there and let's work out, hey, we can make a better.
I can beatbox.
Where are you, Sherrod, right now? Where
I'm
are
off the grid, baby. Don't worry about me. I'm up in the mountains.
You've been there for a long time. What's this about?
In a long time. Yeah, I've been up here 10 weeks. 10 weeks.
Why?
Because the whole city shut down.
What's her name?
Well, I did. I came back for a week. Came back to the city, but then I came back.
What's her name?
Don't worry about it, Jackie.
Don't worry.
I'll tell you later.
Unc doing Unc stuff. Unc out there doing.
You beat me to it, Derek. Yep. Unc doing
Unc stuff.
Uncle out there doing uncle stuff.
Y'all want an auntie, don't you? You want an auntie, don't you?
I don't approve of any of
it. You popping bottles over there. What you drinking?
Pinot Grigio.
A Pinot. It's a Santa Margarita. I know you like the best.
I'm gonna have honey whiskey later, but right now I'm trying to be professional.
Honey whiskey a little later, huh?
Nice.
Honey whiskey when you
Jackie's fabulous.
Oh, I love her.
Oh, no.
It's so silly.
Whiskey is when wine is when you're like, I'm at work right now. The owner of the cellar.
Oh,
You know that New York is open. You can reopen whenever you feel like. You ready to reopen? For God's sake!
I don't think you can. There's only construction and shit like that today.
We got to get to phase 4 to do that, right?
Well, when the hell is phase 4, nigga?
Phase 4 is arts and entertainment. Phase 4 is when arts and entertainment is supposed to open back up in East Coast.
Well, Che did an outside show the other day in New York. Big J.
It was a success.
You saw the message picture on Instagram. It was beautiful. A big crowd.
It looked amazing.
Yeah.
Nobody was far. They were all this close to each other. No distancing.
That's what I'm saying.
It was beautiful.
You guys want to hear another?
They had on masks and they were still sitting right here. I was
it was beautiful to everybody but Joe DeRosa, who thought he bombed. He ate it during the quarantine.
Who gives
You guys want to hear another confession of an old white guy?
Yes,
please.
Sure, I guess.
Which one is this? Is it Daryl Hammond?
Stand up. Okay, got you.
So today I was watching this documentary, "I'm Not Your Negro," the James Baldwin documentary.
Yeah.
I watched that. It's good.
And the dinner was ready, but I watched like the first 20 minutes. And I want to watch the rest of it.
Wow, no.
Honesty. You like,
I plan to watch the rest. I plan to watch the rest. I just don't want to pretend like I don't want to lie and say watch the whole thing.
Right.
I'm not a liar. So, but I'm really watching it very closely. But the first part shows a lot of these horrible clips of the segregated South and trying to desegregate the schools, and this one black girl who goes to the school and they're just taunting her and spitting on her. I mean, it's just like unbelievable. And I had what might have been a reaction that you wouldn't expect. I had a reaction of pride in the country for what a foreign country this looked like to me. That whatever it is, or that the entire country now, overwhelmingly, is outraged by this kind of stuff. And everywhere you look, the attitude and the reality is so far from that I felt bad in a sense that through all this, we can't also at the same time focusing on all the bad things. Someone managed to say, but you know what? There's not many countries on earth that have ever turned themselves in that way. And I'm confessing that to you because I know you might disagree with me, but I just want to have a frank conversation. I really did look at that and say, my God, how did they turn the corner on that?
Well, in some ways we turned the corner, no, but some ways like technology turned the corner. People do their spitting on social media now. It's like it's still spitting, but they do it on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. Yes, it is. It's more hatred on that shit.
Well, but I can't. If I don't know what's going on in Germany now, but I mean, if I look at the Germans and how they treated the Jews in the 40s, and then
fair,
and if there's some social media anti-Semitism there, I would not think that was comparable.
Well, that's
because
the Germans treated the Jews funny. Where's this coming from?
What?
Where's all this talk that the Germans treated the Jews funny? Where's that coming from? I never read anything about that.
Yeah, I see where that went. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, but it was all even Steven over there. No.
See, but even for all the progress that we made, it's still really, really backwards, right? Because in the segregated South that you're talking about, the part they don't tell you is that Black people, even though we weren't allowed in white schools, we were doing really well economically, right? Because we had our own spaces. They hadn't burned them all to the ground or run the expressways through them yet. Once we desegregated, they went back and saw that, so Black people that had their own buses and their own cabs and all that stuff, they now kind of wanted to twist that knife a little bit because fuck you for keeping us off the buses and out of schools. So we kind of overwent to those places. Once that happened, our places started to lose money. Our community started losing money. Then they did the whole thing with the suburbs. They moved us out. We actively left. And then, again, ran the expressways through all the major Black cities in the country. So it helped and it hurt.
There was all this progress. By the way, especially right through my street, just but I just want to say, I remember in the 90s, there was an argument I used to hear. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't hear it so much anymore. That with desegregation, it allowed Black middle class and Black professionals to get the hell out. and it left. They ended up leaving behind a neighborhood which didn't have the benefit of having the role. There was the lawyer and the doctor, and the entire spectrum of the community was segregated. And then,
but now they're getting
they get out, and that's what I'm not saying it's true or not true. I just remember I would hear that argument quite often.
But you see how
it's blackish.
It's circular because now blacks and people of color are being forced out of the neighborhood because of that the G word.
Gentrification.
And plus, 100%. I never thought I would see in my lifetime. Look at how they're trying to make abortion illegal. Abortion has been legal my whole life.
Got me through some tough spots.
Thank God. I mean, if they don't have, if they get rid of, if they get rid of Planned Parenthood, where are young hoes gonna go? I have a T-shirt that says, "Where are young hoes?
Where are the young hoes?
Where the young hoes gonna go?
Where the young hoes gonna go?"
Saved me on many an occasion, but I didn't think in my lifetime that I would see abortion be illegal.
It's never gonna be legal.
What?
Some places are already illegal.
They've made it illegal
in Alabama. That shit is illegal.
Yeah, but we all expect that from Alabama. Let's not act like we shot.
I know that they make it harder and harder, but it's not illegal.
In every state, and now they're trying to take that away.
So you're saying I shouldn't get
they've
nobody
always been
pregnant
trying to
in
take it
Alabama.
away. They've been trying to take it away.
Never in Alabama, Derek.
Word.
Decided.
Listen, we all knew Alabama would say no to abortion and any kind of science.
It's illegal in some states now, Noam. They've changed the law.
Michigan was one of them too. Michigan had a.
But Noam, to what you said, right, about you looked at the country and you felt a sense of pride, right? So when I was going to school and I would see the country and how it was back in the day, I felt kind of the opposite because I was like, there's so much that hasn't changed socially, right? Because if you think about it, even in the time that you're talking about, they still were doing lynchings undercover and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So while that little girl was trying to go to school and all that, they were still going in houses and making burgers while niggas were hanging behind them.
You know
there
what
was blood dripping from our necks into their Kool-Aid back then.
One of the most popular years.
Kids.
One of the most popular years for lynching in America was 1919 during the Spanish flu. The same quarantine shit. It was one of the busiest years of lynching in American history.
Wow.
Think of that.
And stuff like that. I'm worried I'm worried that shit is gonna go up.
And they still call people of color colored. I've been called colored in Montana and Idaho.
Yeah. Old people still say that. There's nobody under 30 though. Stop it, Jackie. Ain't nobody under 65 saying nothing shit like that.
No. After a show in Montana during the whole meet and greet, this white guy, he got close to my ear to be like, blah, blah, blah. I love colored people. We need more of you out here. And he meant that with his heart.
Wow.
But that's what him being sincere. He's not around enough colored people not to say colored. He needs a lot of us out there just to teach him. He want to do right. He want to do right.
If he has a TV, he should know colored is out.
But he probably don't have no TV.
They get to not have a TV, and they get the.
He has the internet. How did he know to put TV before him? He must have found out somehow.
Only channel you get is country music.
I'm in DC. I was in DC. Fuck Montana. I was in DC. A white woman came up to me and tried to explain how her father having indentured servants was a good thing, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
There are a lot of white people.
Well, it was employment. Let's not.
Who don't know what year it is. There are a lot of Caucasians who don't
stay in the backyard, Sherrod. She probably made you stay in the backyard.
But that's why we said we.
You know what I said? Last thing. I mean, for now, I'm sorry, Sherrod.
No, go ahead, baby.
I was in Arkansas and I said on stage, how many of you have never seen a black woman up close?
How many people clap?
No, they didn't clap. It was quiet because they were like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even a black woman was like this. I haven't either.
I was kidding.
Yeah. Were you wearing pants?
I was kidding, and they were like, "Oh shit, how she know?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Canada,
wild,
Ohio,
bro.
2018. I'm going. We get to the spot, and the first thing the lady says to me, she goes, "Oh, I want you to know that you can be comfortable here because we have a couple more black people that are definitely going to be here." I said, "Man, what the fuck does that mean? Yo?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?"
I would have been like, "Thank you. Can I get that room number?"
More of me.
Do we get free cable in our rooms? Because it ain't a lot of us to watch y'all bullshit.
Neko.
Yes, sir.
So when I told the story, I intuited that that's what you would feel, and that's kind of why I wanted to go on the limit and say it. And I think both are true.
Yeah,
I think both perspectives are valid, and maybe on which side of the bed you wake up and what kind of how you're feeling about things, you're able to look at one or the other, you know. Right now it's hard to look at the progress when you see a guy killed like that, and other times when the day Obama was elected, it's probably easy to look at
because we do have progress in this country. It's progress, but along that progress, we've been having so many setbacks that this progress has been like bastardized and it's been mutilated. So we're better than what we were, but it's still a mutilation of what it should be.
And all the progress looks the same. Look at how you teach the kids. Look at how they teach black kids when we're coming up in school. They'll teach you that you were slaves forever, then Martin Luther King, then a day of Malcolm X. Right. But
that's how they slavery. Like that's where we come from. Like we was born out of slavery.
Right. And that's not our history. It's an interruption of our history.
Until you learn black diaspora and get to know where you fucking what things are really like.
Yeah, in the two places that they teach that.
Yeah, well, I went to Morgan State University, Cold Spring Lane, and Hill and Road.
You already told us.
MSU, baby. Big shout.
You rubbed it in our face early.
Earl Graves, another, Earl Graves went there. Thank you.
You mentioned your degree more than Harrison Greenbaum, for Christ's sake, Sherrod.
What's that?
I said you mentioned your degree more than Harrison Greenbaum.
But at least I do it in a manly voice, right?
It's in his manly.
Take those fans off, girl.
But yeah, for all the progress that we've made, it just feels like it's the same progress and it's the same things that
it's quicksand
praised over and over again. Even what's happening now. Oh, well, thank God so many people care. It's like we shouldn't have to still be here. The fact that Al Sharpton said at the funeral that they're going to do another march on Washington, bro, there's a part of me that again welled up with pride because if they do that, I'm gonna go. But there's another part of me that's like, how the fuck? Where did we fail? My grandmother, they did that when she was 20, dog. How are we still here? How are we still here? Me and her are going to go to the March on Washington together.
We're going to turn it into
proud?
A yearly cookout in Washington because we all going to need it every year.
Like the black chick that the first black woman to desegregate schools, she only 65. So it's like,
bro, what?
Yeah.
She's only 65.
Yeah.
She's only 65 years old. Like,
he's the same age as Noam. That's why he knows a lot about this.
Who's only 65?
The young girl that you were speaking of, the guy.
How could that be?
The sadder part is that none of us are just throwing out her name. That's the sad.
No, I don't know which one.
Isn't that 1955 or something? She can't be 65.
55? She might be. Wait, 55 is when she
years old.
No, she's older than that.
No, she would have to be. She would have to been like 15 in 1950. She'd be more like 1940.
We can find that
out.
Have
to be like 80.
Actually,
unless it's somebody else.
The little girl that was, marching with the book into the thing. You know the picture.
I only know the clip. I only know the clip from Forrest Gump when he picked the book up for her and then walked in after. You dropped your book. You dropped your book. She seemed nice.
Can we do an outdoor show, Noam? I love how no one wants to discuss everything in the world but stand-up comedy.
Talk about what's important.
That's the only reason why we know him, because of comedy. He's like, nah, forget about that. How about
the world, y'all?
Because he turned the Comedy Cellar into a CVS, and he don't want to bring her.
He don't want to hurt us.
COVID-19 test.
Oh no.
That's why he won't bring it up. He's like, look, y'all don't even know.
Y'all don't even know. I got plans.
That block is gone. I don't want to.
Well gone.
Yeah, man.
What's her name? Ruby
Fat
Bridges?
Black is a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Ruby
Black
Pritchard.
is Buffalo Wild Wings now.
Yes,
so y'all
I
need
think
to go
so.
back. It should be a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Imagine if we drive by and we see a for sale sign, we would pass out, right?
We would all pass out.
They're just gonna make my moves bigger. Knock all that bullshit down.
Oh, no.
Okay,
There's
so
the
there's
reason
two
why
girls.
he's so evasive. He's the one telling us what he's doing to the club.
Ruby Bridges was the little girl.
Okay.
She's 65 today.
Yep, Ruby Bridges. He knows.
That's not the girl. That's not the girl who was in the Baldwin documentary.
Okay.
Who was older, but it's,
65 is crazy.
But still,
he should be 300 years old.
It was a very short while ago.
Yeah, she should be 300.
I said it's a Buffalo Wild Wing. I can't stop laughing.
I want to talk about comedy.
Buffalo Wild Wing, bro.
When we coming back, man? Give me the keys. Let me open the place up. You two Scav, let me go in there and open it up.
I would say August.
Yeah, let's say July though. You said August before. I remember you mentioned August once before when we talked about it like a month ago.
I never heard him give an actual date before. August?
Yeah.
August. Unless, God forbid, there's a spike because of all these protests, which is a possibility.
Spike hike. We're all going to die. No.
You know, as soon as you told me August, though, I text Liz.
They'll push it back. They have certain guidelines. It has to be X number of beds.
I can assure you, because most of the people protesting are African American, we don't usually go in anyway. So I think nobody will find out. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you good.
Nobody's gonna be
good. We missing all them appointments, dog. We all miss work.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Working so hard, they're like, I know I got my job back, but I'm not gonna go. Not yet.
I still feel a little. I'm gonna wait a few more weeks.
They say some people they even plan. They are not going back to work at all.
Yeah, well,
they said some people that straight up, I'm good.
But a lot of companies already saying that they want people to, just like Chase Manhattan Bank said, they want people to work remotely from home now because it's going to save them money.
It's no longer called Chase Manhattan Bank. How old are you?
I know. That's my first job in New York. That's why I still call it Chase Manhattan Bank. When I was 14 or 15, when I was 15, I was working at Chase Manhattan Bank in summertime, and I call it Chase Manhattan Bank. Just like when you meet your teacher, you see a teacher, you still call your teacher by teacher.
Don't do that in public anymore. It's only Chase.
First time I wore a tie to work, man. I thought I was real special with my stupid tie and my fucking parachute pants.
You really enjoyed that job, huh?
Yeah, I loved it. I was making like $800 a week. Working commodity loans, just fucking in the office. It was like 3 floors, some shit.
What year was that?
Downtown Manhattan. It was like 1980.
Nigga, you were killing it.
1980.
That's that drug money back then.
85, 88.
You were a teenager.
Yeah, I was a teenager. I was a teenager working there because my sister-in-law, she ran commodity loans, the whole department, and she got me a summer job there. And I worked there during the summer and every holiday. And it was like $800
for you to work in 1980. We're the same age.
Not 80, 88.
Oh, okay.
88. Look at you trying to send me to jail on some racketeering charges. I hate that. Get a lawyer over here. I hate lawyers on this show.
Sherrod was selling crack when it started.
That was all commodities, baby. It's all pig bellies and motherfucking precious metals, nigga.
No, are you bored? Noam? Do you get bored?
No, I'm not bored. I mean,
tell the truth.
Don't got kids.
I'm not bored because I have 3 kids, and there's always interesting. But I do want to take up something new. I went online. I think maybe take an online course in computer coding or maybe some more music recording, some mixing or something. I got to do something.
A little computer coding, huh? Maybe learn some beginner's all-purpose symbolic instructional code, or maybe Logo or a little Pascal. I can help.
Nigga, that was frightening.
Yeah, I still write code, baby. I dabble in everything. I'll be honest with you, Neko. I dabble.
That makes perfect sense. But you just went full Busta Rhymes. And look at me now.
The beginner's all-purpose symbolic instructional code. It's just basic. That's all it spells out.
Sherrod, you know words. Give it up for Sherrod, know words.
It's just computers.
What school you went to again, Sherrod?
Bishop Lachlan and Morgan State University, Hill and Cold Spring Lanes, Baltimore, Maryland. All
right, Sherrod, you're almost 50. Let it go.
Come on, so what? I made it. And we got the cops like this, and I made it. You should be rewarding me, bitch. I made it to 50. No shots.
No shots.
Right now in fucking Martha's Vineyard, you ain't made shit.
And I was driving a hatchback in Brooklyn with no license at 15. So,
that's right, boy.
So when I made it through that motherfucking roulette.
That's right, old head. That's
You're
right.
in there.
Show your age.
A big shout to the Torcel, baby. That Honda Torcel got me through a lot of stuff. I used to put that back seat down and bend them up.
Right, hip hop.
Toyota is not Honda.
What?
Toyota Tercel, not Honda Tercel.
I'm talking about all these things I don't recognize.
Why y'all talking about these old?
Because I had an Accord too. I had an Accord in college.
Right.
Nico and what's his name here? They're like, we weren't born. Y'all stop.
I definitely wasn't. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. I was born in 84. Y'all was out pushing Tercels and selling weed in 84?
I had a license.
Yeah, and 86.
No,
87, 88.
What were y'all into in 93?
93, I was in Morgan, baby. I was in college.
93, we were in college.
College, baby. Doing the big time.
Got you.
And I was in high school with Biggie. We all went to Lockland. I'm a part of Brooklyn history, baby.
What's up?
Like a Black Forrest Gump.
What?
You're like a Black Forrest Gump. Like
I am fun. I do have. I got 1 degree of separation.
Sherrod Tuck everlasting. That nigga is eternal. He was here for both Tupac and Biggie's murder. I was in the car.
I age like a dragon.
I feel like you were at each of their last party though.
Have you seen the pictures? You just see me added to the picture.
No,
me, Suge, and Tupac in the car. I'm in the back.
Have an outdoor show. You don't want to have an outdoor benefit show?
We have no outdoors. Where am I going to have an outdoor benefit?
Oh, you can do it at Washington Square Park. No, stop being like that.
Around the corner.
Outside the world. What do you mean where?
If those liberal cucks can take over the park, we can.
Yeah, especially in the village.
If it was legal, I mean, if it's legal, I'll ask Liz. Liz is probably listening. We should look into it. We could produce a show.
Yeah.
Actually, somebody had written me from Live Nation about wanting to do something. I thought he was going to call me today, but he didn't.
There you go, Noam.
Okay. Was it somebody really from?
We are all available. Let's go.
Did you run into this guy at Temple this week?
No, I don't think he's Jewish.
Then it's not real. No, that's not be a fool.
No, how do you throw out, like, I don't know. I got an email from, Live Nation. They want to do a show. They're kind of important.
Yeah,
That's Live Nation. Yeah,
but they come through there. Some of the
they do them shows.
I'll show you it's at the Coney Island Amphitheater.
Yes.
500 seats.
Okay.
And what's funny about that stuff, because I think they feel like I have some kind of special something I can bring, value I can bring, but I can't. Like they can get the comedians
themselves. You're gonna insult all of us to our face,
right?
What the fuck?
Nah, he ain't got no commodity.
That's not what I mean. I mean, like, are we like, oh, hear the comedians' names? You can put like it's like I'm not trying to get my hooks in everything, is what I mean. Like,
right.
Comedy Cellar.
You don't want to be the producer all in the video, all dancing.
You don't want to be the video.
Come to death row.
No, to be perfectly honest, it's like there's always a middleman, right? So like these guys have a budget. They're gonna hire comedians. They want me to take a cut so I can bring them you. And I'm like, no, just call the comedians yourself. I don't, what am I? So
I'll help you book it. You need help? We'll all help you book it.
We'll help you.
Noam don't want to feel like the Jewish dude that we call him behind his back. I get that.
You don't want to be Jerry Heller. You don't want to be a Jerry Heller.
Jerry Heller.
Yeah, you don't want to be Jerry Heller.
Who's Jerry Heller? Teach me. Who's Jerry Heller?
Ice Cube.
That's Eazy-E. That was Eazy manager.
At Ruthless Records. He was his
partner. That's a little bit from that time that I did look up. Have
you been down to the club, Noam, like recently, like just to look around and shit?
No.
See, this motherfucker know it's a CVS.
The casualness of how he said it too. You've been down there? No.
He can't bring himself to
no, I've been down there. I've walked past it a couple times, man. It still looks good.
No, I don't want hot wings. Why would I go down there?
Michael Che sent me the nicest fucking text message. I don't want to say what it said, but it was just sent me a picture of the club. It really almost made me cry. It was really, really nice.
We all walked past there and almost cried.
I took a picture when I came back to the city. I took a picture of it. Just to have.
I went down there once or twice, and I had some stuff loaded in my car, but I didn't walk in. It's just closed, but Tony's in the building, and other people. The building is, Ava's there.
Yeah, when I went down there last week, I saw the doors were wide open and people just coming in and out with masks on.
Really?
It was looters.
They were stealing the tables and all the land.
Sure, I helped with some of the equipment, but I didn't know.
We should bring a karaoke box and a microphone and start a show there.
Anyway.
Yeah, we got to get these clubs open though. No, Godspeed on that, for real. We need it.
Yeah. I'm ready to start talking again, man. Yeah, I'm picked up. Son. I got to talk my shit, bruh.
I think we're going to be able to open the Olive Tree like next week or something, just outdoors. But I feel like maybe people will start coming at least to hang out.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I would love this.
Wait, just let me know when.
We can't hug. I don't know what's gonna happen. I can't hug anybody or touch anyone. That's so sad.
You come down there with no pants on, you're gonna get a hug from me. I'll tell you that.
You're gonna get somebody to hug you.
Corona or not, goddamn, I'm gonna get mine.
There's a new pants on. Hold up, there's a new thing that came out today from the WHO, which said that they think now that asymptomatic people are not likely to spread it. I mean, they change it every
These
day.
These people don't know what the fuck.
But that's a big deal. That's a big deal because that means if you could trust each other, you could probably hug each other. It also means that people have been out there knowing they were sick and just spreading this shit and lying about it, right?
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah, a lot of people lied about it.
I think I gave it to Sherrod though, because I was sick and we hung out at the holiday party. And I'm like, I didn't tell you, I don't feel well, and I ain't felt well in about 3 months. He was like, what?
Yeah.
Shit.
It was worth it though. I tell you guys, it was worth it.
That's as long as we've been in this shit. That's crazy.
Well worth
it. That's what I mean.
You had it,
we ain't gonna get checked.
I didn't. I don't have the antibodies. I don't know. I don't think I got the antibodies.
Did you get sick after the holiday party?
What's that?
Did you not feel well after the holiday party?
I felt a little under the weather, but nothing like I didn't feel like I felt like maybe it might have been flu-y and not, but I don't know the difference.
I don't know. I was up in the cellar for a long time.
I remember you were sick though. You were sick, but did you get tested and see that you have the antibodies like you definitely had?
I got tested before they labeled it. And they were like, you don't have the flu, but we don't know what this is. I'm gonna get tested. They didn't know what it was.
So you might have the antibodies now, so you won't get it again anyway.
I want to know for sure.
Is that for certain?
Go to City MD, yo.
Catch it again. I heard that was. I don't think that's the surety thing.
No, that's pretty.
I don't think they know shit about this virus, dog. We didn't need masks a month ago. Now you can't leave the house without them.
Yeah, but the Asians been wearing masks for 3 years.
Sherrod, they also said that if you have STD antibodies, they can't detect the antibodies of COVID. So just so you know.
Okay, good. Yeah, so good luck finding it in me. That's going to look like alphabet soup down there, all those letters coming at you.
I swear to God, Sherrod is black quagmire. You are black quagmire.
Black
giggity.
I'm pretty sure we're all going to, if we come back now, we'll all be good with the no hugging for about 2 weeks. And then we'll be like, you know what? I can't.
It's already getting there. It's already.
And plus, if you got kids, you hugging. If you got nieces and nephews, you hugging. It's like you can pretend all you want. Grandparents, God bless them, they holding out for the longest, but they ready to throw in the towel. Like, fuck it, if I die, I gotta hold my grandkids.
Honestly, I've been alone for 3 months with my wife. I need some physical contact.
Touche. No.
For shame.
Usually Estie's how come Estie didn't join us tonight?
Oh yeah.
I know. I haven't heard her. I need to call her. Estie, are you there? We're about to sign off. You want to sign in, Estie?
You there?
I don't know. I hope she's all right because she left the show a couple days ago. And, you know, I got.
What?
And what? What are you talking about?
What's wrong with Estie?
I don't know. It's just weird. I haven't heard from her a few days. I'm sure she's fine.
Oh, well, check up.
You scaring the shit out of us.
Yeah, don't do that.
To make sure Estie's okay.
I got so many apologies to get off before anything.
And on the show, Danny Cohen hosted. So since then, she's fine.
Oh, okay.
When was the last time she was on?
Danny Cohen.
Who's that? Jesus? Who's that?
That's the producer.
Hey, hi.
How's it going?
Yes.
Bush, why do you always sign off? He's, whatever.
I'm not passed. That's why I don't show.
Get your face off the screen. You got to earn that, son of a bitch.
He makes a good point.
But in all seriousness, I really miss you guys.
Yeah,
miss you too.
Yeah,
yo.
I miss the whole community, man.
Facts.
We were around each other every damn day. I mean, if we're out of town, we're missing home, then we want to get back to the clubs. We really don't want to get back to our apartment. We want to get back to the flow of it.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much I would miss y'all during this time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like every single night from 14 on around comedians. So after not seeing y'all for 3 months,
even if I didn't talk to anyone long, just that whole "how are you? Good to see you." Right.
Yeah. We yearn for that. This is the longest I ain't been on a stage in 20 years.
Yeah,
near a club. Like that's crazy.
When did Zoom start? Like a few years ago, really? Like, could you imagine what this would have been like 5 years ago without even the video talking?
Yeah, it would have been without smartphones. It would have been disastrous.
Yeah, could you imagine? Can you imagine the people that would have truly lost their sanity? Because there's people that have gone crazy, but I'm talking straight up gun. Bow.
Yeah,
this isolated feeling.
Even people using this technology to talk to their psychiatrists and their doctors, it's like the shit is crucial. I can't even imagine. Imagine in 1919 and what the fuck they went through.
What is it? Yeah.
That's why I always cried that commercial with that old lady like this. I was born during a quarantine, and my mother was strong, and you can do it. I go like this. Oh, you white bitch, you got me crying.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what got me? And I don't cry that often, man. But when somebody shared that video of Floyd's daughter saying "Daddy changed the world,"
yeah,
that's crazy. That's a heavy one. That's a heavy.
Yeah, a world that he won't get to see. So somebody got to go to jail, goddamn.
Yep.
And I hope
everybody
jail, goddamn.
I hope when the killer gets convicted and ends up in jail, he may not last too long.
Yeah, I don't want nobody to do anything to him.
I hope he doesn't. I'm sorry. I hope.
Yeah, if anything, if he does it to himself, that's one thing. But I want him to do that time sitting there.
Yeah. No, I don't want him to do it to himself.
Didn't they say he was on suicide watch? I read that somewhere.
Oh, he would have to be. He would have to be.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah, he on suicide watch. Because he a bitch. People like that are usually bitches. They can't live with actually doing the time for what they did.
I was really happy when that Asian wife got out of there, huh? She was looking for her way out, wasn't she? The cop's wife who divorced him.
Isn't that funny? She's like, I'm not gonna be by your side for shit. I've been waiting for a lot of this.
She was packing her shit when his knee was still on George's neck. That bitch got out of there.
You on your own.
Shit.
I've never seen somebody file for divorce
that fast in my life.
When he called her for bail, she was like, "Bail this bitch."
Yeah, that Asian bitch took the first helicopter out.
Well, listen, Jackie, before we go, so I didn't realize I wasn't looking at the comments. Apparently, we got some questions from the people listening. One was about the COVID symptoms. Well, I think we talked about that, but somebody wrote here, how does the court gather a jury who is unbiased so that they hear the defense and the prosecution?
It's called dice rolling. There's no way. You call in jury duty, people come in, you question them, and based on the answers they get to the questions, the judge and the attorney decides we keep them or we get rid of them.
Exactly. You just get a jury of your peers. That's it. You don't get a jury of your peers who might not have heard about it. That's not the
idea, and you hope for the best. That's it.
Yeah, you dribble in your shit.
If we could guarantee that every jury was unbiased, we would have a lot
more of my friends would be out right.
When did they move the Rodney King jury to the Ventura County or somewhere so it would be all white? Was that the
man? They could move.
They moved it out of LA County to Ventura.
That was which joint was that? Amadou?
Even in New York City, they moved they moved it to
Albany.
They moved upstate. That was Diallo's case. They moved that upstate to have a all-white jury who's just pro-police.
You gotta ask the right question. Like you have to dig deep. Like first of all, if they're wearing a Black Lives Matter T-shirt, excuse them. Mm-hmm. But if you get anybody white, you gotta ask them who their mate is. Your husband or wife, are they black or are they white? You got to ask a lot of deep questions. You can't just be like, are you married? These days, that's not enough. Who are you married?
I mean, like this. How you season your chicken?
Cop you're related to.
How you season your chicken, motherfucker?
How you season
what you put on fish? Obey? You know Obey? Get the fuck out of here, you racist son of a bitch.
What's on your iTunes right now, bitch? What are you listening to right now? I want to know who's on your phone.
Who in your top 5 right now? Top 5 right now.
What kind of porn do you watch?
Who was the last black person over your house for dinner and when? Never.
I don't think it's gonna matter who the jury is. I think they get any. I think that video. I mean, I remember when the Rodney King lawyers were on TV and they were showing the Rodney King video very, very slowly, and they were analyzing it and they were about to cuff him, and then he said stay down, and then he gets back up again and they beat him, and I could see how they made the argument to the jury that he wasn't staying down here. I don't see any daylight here whatsoever.
The only reason to hold a black man
skin in that badge.
I mean, most cops I'm aware of, and I've texted with a few, who think this guy needs to go to jail.
The only reason to hold a black man down who was not armed, who was currently in custody, is if he's Luke Cage. If he's not Luke Cage, let him the fuck go.
Shout out to Marvel ref. That was a little Marvel reference.
Yes, indeed. Marvel reference.
Sherrod, I gotta go. I'm gonna show my kids the Bad News Bears tonight.
Okay, which version? The
one with the N-word.
70s. Okay, yes, that's a good one.
Is that okay?
That's the first one? You mean the original one? Yes, that's the best one.
Yes.
That's the best one. With Mathau, with Roger Mathau.
Yeah.
That's
Walter
the
Mathau.
best one. Walter. I'm sorry, Walter.
Yeah.
You know his wife, remember his wife came to the Comedy Cellar at one time, right after he passed away in early 2000s.
Wow.
2007 maybe.
Were you a gentleman, Sherrod?
Yes, she was great. She was so friendly. She was just so shocked how me and Godfrey fucking knew all her husband's dialogue from a bunch of his movies, and she was just impressed by that. She was the sweetest woman. She might be gone by now, but yeah, God bless her.
Before we go, I want to sing you guys a song.
Oh God!
I was ready to hear it.
I was too. All right.
Don't let Derek kill your joy. Go ahead, Jackie.
Go ahead.
At the end of every Zoom, I'm like, "Hey, guy, wait! I have a song." Everybody's like, "Ooh!"
God. Songs. Go ahead.
But don't forget our Race Wars. We got Roger Stone on this week, and Noam, you joining us for that episode on Wednesday.
Oh, I can't wait.
Roger Stone, baby. He's going back to jail in June, I think.
I think Trump's gonna pardon him.
But he got so much on his plate now. Trump's got a lot on his plate.
You haven't asked me to do
got
Race
a lot
Wars
of lights
again,
to turn
Sherrod, by the way.
Yes, I need you on. Want to come on the week after?
You can. Oh, now you want me because I mentioned it.
See, you just
Can
want to
you
argue.
sing this goddamn song?
I gotta get the top off.
Ain't no song, Derek.
All right, I really enjoy this group, this panel. So let's do it again soon.
Definitely, man.
Absolutely.
Enjoy y'all.
Do not make it a CVS. Thank you very much.
Yeah, please don't make it a CVS. Open soon. Stay safe.